Hello and welcome to our new video. This is the Vileda Steam Plus. We have reviewed this steam cleaner for you and you'll find out everything you need to know in this video. So just stay tuned. Let's get started with the new steam cleaner from Vileda, the Steam Plus. Before we get to the practical part, we'll first give you a brief overview of the product in our features and technology section. The Steam Plus comes with an output of 1550 watts and has an infinitely variable steam control, which is classified in stages designed for different floor types such as hard floors, carpets, and tiles. A nozzle on the base is designed to distribute the steam and kill 99.99% of bacteria. It can be used on all hard floors, for example, tiles, laminate, vinyl, and so on. It is only important that the floor is sealed and heat-resistant. Floors that have been clear-coated or wax-treated are not suitable. Carpets and rugs can also be freshened up with the Steam Plus. Vileda also supplies a 400 milliliters, permanently installed water tank. Unfortunately, the tank size has not changed compared to the older models. However, a fill level indicator has been added to the Steam Plus, so you can at least estimate when you need to refill. That's something at least. The Steam Plus is also supposed to heat up within 15 seconds. If even that's too long for you, you can also look forward to a short second heating phase. However, we will take a closer look at what this means and whether the 15-second heat-up time works at all in the practical test. With a cable length of 6 meters, the steam cleaner also offers sufficient freedom of movement while working. Another feature is the triangular base, which is ideal for angled areas. Working is also made a bit easier by the fact that the floor attachment can be swung to the left and right. When it comes to storage, the Plus versions from Vileda also offers 2 hooks on the handle for cable storage and the option of making the appliance very small. More about this later. By the way, you can find the link to the Vileda Steam Plus below the video in the description. And if the video was helpful to you, please leave us a like and subscribe to our channel. So much for our first impression of the Vileda Steam Plus. Now we come to what is probably the most important point, namely operation and use. Let's take a look at how the appliance fared in our practical test. We'll start with the assembly. So now I'm sitting here with the Vileda Steam Plus and would like to show you how to assemble it. We have 4 parts here that we have to bring together, and I'll show you how to do it. We have the microfiber cloth, we have the floor attachment itself, the main unit, and then there's the handle. We've already tested the standard Vileda Steam, and at that time I had already put everything together in the rehearsal, so that it would work nicely in front of the camera. And then I couldn't get the handle out. That has been worked on. Vileda has now thought of installing a small button on the back, which makes it easy to release the handle's locking mechanism. So you can disassemble the appliance again to make it easier to store, to make it smaller. Very practical. I think it's good. Unfortunately, instead, the floor attachment can now no longer be removed. It was still possible with the standard Steam model. You could take it off at the bottom. With the Steam Plus, you can't. I couldn't find anything in the operating instructions about how to do it. No trick, no knob, no button, nothing. So I pretty much gave up on that. It's not that big of a deal anyway. I'll explain how to do it instead. There's a small shaft at the bottom of the floor attachment that goes into the bottom of the device and clicks itself into place, and then it's ready to use. I'll continue with the microfiber pad. You simply spread it out on the floor with the fluffy side facing down. There are some hook and loop fasteners on the bottom of the attachment, and you then simply align it, press the attachment onto it, and it's ready. You can now fill the tank and off you go. Once you have set up the Vileda Steam Plus, the rest is relatively straightforward. Oh, and by the way, if you want to remove the floor attachment, you can. Similarly to the handle of the older Vileda models, there's a small opening at the back of the appliance. Here you can insert a thin, long but hard object to loosen the foot. However, the whole thing is so difficult that it requires a great deal of force and a slight risk of injury. This is also the reason why Remo didn't see that at first, though he found out later that the foot could be removed. It didn't seem so obvious to us at first. In any case, it is not particularly practical, and we recommend simply leaving the attachment on if possible. Unfortunately, the water tank is not removable, but it is easy to refill using the cup provided. Simply open the tank, fill the appliance with water, and you're ready to go. You set the desired intensity, and the power LED starts to flash. The appliance now starts to heat up. After 15 seconds, the LED lights up continuously to indicate that the appliance is heated up. After approximately 25 seconds, you can also hear the water in the appliance starting to simmer, and then more and more steam slowly comes out of the base. The heat up time in our test was therefore around 15 to 25 seconds, which is perfectly acceptable. The already mentioned short-second heating phase is interesting here. If you switch the appliance off, the Steam Plus remains ready for use for up to 5 more minutes. This means that the steam cleaner reaches its operating temperature more quickly after being switched on again. Admittedly, the heat-up time of 15 to 25 seconds is short in our opinion anyway, but it's still a much appreciated feature. Vileda performed well when it comes to its handling. The low weight of just 2.1 kilograms makes cleaning pretty easy. On the other hand, it is a bit of a shame that there is no steam switch on the handle. Unfortunately, you have to switch the appliance off completely if you want to take a break. Although this is not ideal, it is not that important due to the short heat-up time. Let's move on to the essentials, namely the cleaning result. Generally speaking, it has to be said that these steam mops are primarily designed to make mopping hard floors easier. You no longer just have a simple mop and have to nibble away stubborn stains with your fingernail or whatever, but you have hot steam to help you. The heat loosens the dirt better and you can get the place clean faster and with less effort and without the use of any chemicals at all. So much for the theory. In the end, the Steam Plus actually performed well in our test. Hard floors in particular are well coated by the small triangular base and dirt can be removed easily. Admittedly, on the lowest setting, in other words, the setting for parquet, the floor was not coated quite as thoroughly. We therefore treated our vinyl floor with the medium intensity, namely the one for carpets and padding. This worked very well in the end. If there is a very stubborn stain, you can simply leave the base for a short time and soak the stain with steam. However, in our experience, this is not even necessary in most cases. In general, a few strokes are enough to remove even dried stains. Let's move on to the subject of carpets. Things look a little different here. Although a so-called carpet glider is included in the scope of delivery, its only purpose is to freshen up carpets. At least that's what the manufacturers of the various steam cleaners usually call it. We were able to confirm this in our practical test. Real cleaning in the sense of removing dirt does not take place here. The hot steam can only be used to combat bacteria and at best make the carpet look a little less grubby. And if this is what you expect, you can say that the Vileda has done a good job here. However, with some small compromises. As the Steam Plus only has one nozzle, it doesn't distribute the steam quite as evenly as some of the other appliances in our test. You don't notice this so much on hard floors, but you do on carpets. This was also evident when we dared to freshen up some couch padding. Although the steam was well distributed, it sometimes missed something here and there. This is particularly noticeable on the outer areas. As a result, the overall impression of the upholstery was somewhat improved, but not as good as with some other steam cleaners. What you have to be prepared for with all the appliances in our test is that the stains usually become visible again after drying, so only refreshing is possible with the steam cleaners. And as a reminder, you can find the link to the Vileda Steam Plus below the video in the description. And if the video was helpful to you, please leave us a like and subscribe to our channel. Let's move on to storage, maintenance, and accessories. When it comes to storage, the Steam Plus scores points with its parking position, which means that it can stand on its own and does not simply fall over. The Steam Plus also has a cable storage, which means that the cable can be neatly tucked away to save some space. It is a bit of a shame that the storage hooks are attached on the handle, which makes the appliance a bit top-heavy when the cable is wound up. This makes the parking position a bit more wobbly, but it still worked well in our test. However, the Plus versions offer the more compact storage option mentioned at the beginning. This involves inserting the handle and coiled cable into the opening provided at the back. That's it. Now it's no longer so top-heavy and wobbly. It also works quite easily, and the size has been reduced, making the device easier to store. In terms of maintenance, there is only one important point to consider with the Steam Plus, and that is descaling the appliance. There is no special mechanism for this on the Steam Plus, as was the case with some other test appliances. Instead, you will find some tips for decalcifying regularly in the operating instructions. When it comes to accessories, the Steam Plus is pretty basic. In addition to the device itself, the scope of delivery includes 2 microfiber mop pads for everyday cleaning and a power pad for more demanding cleaning areas. Oh, and of course, the covers are also washable. Simply put them in the washing machine at 60 degrees Celsius and hang them up to dry. Then, they're ready for use again. The carpet glider for freshening up carpets is also included, as well as the cup for refilling the water tank. Let's come to the conclusion. With the Vileda Steam Plus, you get a steam cleaner from a branded manufacturer that has basically performed well. Admittedly, The fiddling with the supposedly removable base could really have been better. The area of application is also limited to floor cleaning as well as padding and carpet refreshing, and is therefore not particularly extensive. Unfortunately, other areas of application such as joints, fittings, windows, and so on have to be left out. However, as far as the core function is concerned, namely cleaning hard floors, the Steam Plus does well. The stepless steam control also offers a lot of flexibility, and thanks to the now visible water tank, it is much easier to estimate when it needs to be refilled. In addition, the compact storage option is another goodie with which the newer Vileda models can shine. The Steam Plus cannot quite keep up with better developed appliances such as the SC steam cleaners from Karcher, but it is also a rather inexpensive appliance. So if you are looking for a simple yet functional way to make cleaning your floors at home a little easier, the Vileda Steam Plus is definitely worth considering. So
So,
we've checked
diesen
this steam cleaner
Dampfreiniger haben wir
for
für
you.
dich
If you
getestet.
liked it,
Wenn er
then
dir
take a look at
gefällt,
the
dann
video
schau mal
description
unten in die
below. You'll find
Videobeschreibung,
all the
denn
links
dort ist das
there.
Produkt für dich
Otherwise,
verlinkt.
I would be happy
Ansonsten
if
würde
you
ich mich
stay
freuen, wenn du
tuned.
dran
Our
bleibst, denn
Endcard
im
will
Anschluss
provide a
folgt
few
noch
more
die
interesting
Endcard mit
video
ein paar
suggestions for
interessanten
you.
Videovorschlägen.